I do Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Pirates of the Caribbean. I have like a 200 song playlist.
Oh,
all
wow.
their soundtracks. Just throw together.
Just throw it together.
If I need to work and grind through a contract for a few hours,
Yeah.
I just put that on.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us on the Elation podcast today, where we enjoy exhilarating euphoria through creation and collaboration. Today we're here with LaCour. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, buddy. Good to see you. We're here to talk a little bit about some of the stuff you do in music and stuff you do here in the city. But let's start with where you're from and go for the origin story.
I'm born and raised in New Orleans, so grew up in Lakeview.
Awesome.
Went to Jesuit over there.
Jewel or Bird Streets?
On Harrison.
Okay.
Main, so heart of Lakeview.
Because I grew up on Crystal Street initially, and then we moved to Lakeshore Parkway.
Okay, yeah.
So we were right around the same area.
Yeah, we born and raised there. Katrina moved for like 6 months and then rebuilt my mom, same house. I mean, same lot, same house. So,
awesome.
Yeah, born and raised there. Went to St. Dominic, went to Jesuit here, went to LSU. So
okay,
I have stayed in Louisiana all my life.
All your life.
Yeah.
Well, so I went to grade school at St. Paul's Episcopal. Across
Okay,
the
yeah.
street from you.
Yeah.
So yeah. We and my mom went to St. Dominic for a little bit. So yeah, that's all like New Orleans is like that. We're all kind of like connected somehow. What did you go to LSU for?
Just cheaper and free. So that's why I went there. And then, then I had a finance undergrad degree, and then I went to law school there too.
Okay.
Because it's just easier, cheaper, and
yeah, no,
it's nice because you're only an hour away from New Orleans, so
yeah.
It's far enough to be away. But if I come in for Wednesday at the Square or see mom, just come in for a weekend.
It's a nice little weekend. Yeah, no. But LSU's got some good. They've got some good classes for finance and
yeah. Business school is great.
Business school's great. Yeah,
they built a whole new they built a whole new business school, and it was ready the first semester after I graduated.
Oh,
so that was
of course. That's the way it works.
Tough.
That's the way it works. Well, when you're an alumni, you can go back and you can give all the other kids shit. Like, oh, you don't know what it was like.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Now the building I was in is all engineering, and I don't even know where to go anymore. Well,
so what's going on with the Young Leadership Council, and let's talk about how you got involved in that.
Yeah, so Young Leadership Council, it's like the oldest young professional organization in the country. It was founded in like 1986. So
wow.
Next year we have our 40th anniversary. And so we serve primarily age 21 to 42 individuals, try to get as many young leaders as possible together. And you can they kind of teach have like programs that develop your own leadership skills, but we also have programs that kind of serve the community. So my main experience was this program called Leadership Development Series. And so we still have it. It's every fall. It's about 20 to 30 people that apply. Basically, we go around the city once a week on Tuesday nights. We have a guest speaker come in and talk to us for an hour, and then kind of have a leadership component or curriculum for another hour. And so it's like basically just a networking event, but it's the same 20 people, the entire series. And so that way it's kind of built around where, hey, you have 19 new friends,
right?
That work in New Orleans that kind of are ambitious, in different backgrounds. And so that's kind of how I started with YLC.
And whenever you get a group of entrepreneurs in the same room together, normally they can have good conversation.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, and so like my track was I was a participant of it, and then they needed more leaders to help, more project leaders to help us, and so I joined that, started becoming a leader of it in 2020, COVID. But it's great because you kind of meet new professionals, but you're also reaching out to CEOs, nonprofit CEOs, and for-profit leaders.
Right.
And it's amazing how you ask people to speak to like a young professional group, they rarely say no, which is pretty crazy.
Right.
So it kind of just gives you the confidence also to reach out to people.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, especially entrepreneurs like to tell their story, yep. And especially if it's to an audience that is going to be inspired or willing to listen, So I feel like it works hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean it's great because like in the past few years, like I'm not a leader of it anymore, like as of last year, but you have like probably 30 to 40 people apply, and so we kind of have to do our diligence of like who actually wants to be who's bought in. And
right.
So it's great because you have a class of like, make sure that you're going to be there, 8 to 10 weeks. We don't want you missing too much. And it's always a fully motivated group. They're always bought in. So it's pretty nice to see that there actually is like some ambition in the city, and like the future is in good hands, I guess.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. No. And I feel like entrepreneurship had been on a dip for a while, and I feel like it's on its rise back up.
Yeah, because it used to be more, I think, more nonprofit focused, and then we kind of shifted that program at least to more of a hybrid because, like, we have a lot of nonprofits here.
Right.
I'm representing one here today, but
Right.
we need more than just we need more diversification.
Absolutely.
And everything.
Well, but I just feel like the creativity in business had been kind of corporatized for a while.
Yeah.
And it was almost. You say you're an entrepreneur, and they go, "Oh, you're jobless." I guess you don't work. I guess
Yeah.
It was almost a sad term.
I know.
I feel like recently, I feel like in the last few years, it's definitely after COVID. I feel like everybody has created their own something. Even if it was just a way to live. So we all kind of became entrepreneurs on how we deal with our daily lives.
For sure.
Well. I also feel like entrepreneurs are creative, so that brings in music. So how does Wednesday at the Square? How did that all kind of happen?
Yeah, so Wednesday at the Square was started in 1999. The Downtown Development District, they kind of created it, and in 2005, YLC I guess took over responsibility of it and took ownership of it. I wasn't around back then involved, so I don't really know what the logistics of why. But so I guess for the past 19 years, we own YLC, Wednesday at the Square. It's awesome. It's between, this year's going to be 8-week series. Starts March 19th, so it's every Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
And it's every week it's 2 acts. We all have food vendors, art vendors, and so it's basically a microcosm of New Orleans.
Right.
You're bringing in this talent, music talent, food talent, art vendors, culture. So it's a smorgasbord of everything together and bring people together. So it kind of embodies New Orleans in my mind.
That's awesome. No, and you have some great local acts that come out and play. Who do you think's been your favorite so far?
So I was a big Revivalist fan, and so I had to look this back up though. So they played I remember in 2015 was my first YLC concert.
Gotcha.
I was in law school in Baton Rouge. My friends and I loved the Revivalists, so we drove down on a Wednesday night to go see them play. So they were my favorite by far. But it's crazy. I was looking through the history of it, and it's crazy to see how many bands have played, like Trombone Shorty, Ten and the Bangos, and how we couldn't afford them anymore to play.
Right.
So it's pretty awesome to see kind of the
progression.
Growth.
Yeah.
And but credit to the people in the past who've identified those talents early and had them play at Wednesday at the Square. So it's a massive history. It's pretty awesome.
100%. Bag of Donuts ever done it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It might be too wild of a show for Wednesday at the Square. But funny enough, they actually played my 13th birthday party.
Really?
Yeah, at the Pontchartrain. We were just talking about it in the back rooms. Yeah, it was definitely something that they'd never done before. And then I ended up getting pulled in the next day after school because my stepdad handed me a bottle of Jack Daniels that he poured out but poured Coke in it. And it was still a little Jack in it. And I'm up on stage chugging it, acting like it's Jack Daniels. It was 8th grade. Yeah, we had a little talking to afterwards. Because we had parents there and the principal was there and all this stuff. And yeah, anyway, Bag of Donuts is a hell of a show. But I think it's great to have very local festivals that really, truly embody what New Orleans is. French Quarter Fest is one of my favorites for that reason.
Yep.
So I feel like Wednesday at the Square is almost a mini French Quarter Fest.
Yeah, and we kind of have Jazz Fest and French Quarter Fest in mind, kind of when we schedule or just plan ahead because those are awesome festivals too.
Right.
We're on a Wednesday night, so we're complimentary to them.
Absolutely.
And so, my theme of this year is kind of New Orleans has been so busy this spring. We had Super Bowl, Mardi Gras was late, and so we're kind of bridging the gap between. I feel like Wednesday Square is bridging the gap between Mardi Gras and Super Bowl and all the big festivals.
The big festivals, yeah. Who do you have playing this year?
Yeah, so we have 8 weeks. We have our big headliners are Soul Rebels brass band, the Deslawns, George Porter and Friends. We start off with Johnny Sketch and the Dirty Notes first, but we have great openers too. We have Mia Borders opening for George Porter, so that's gonna be a massive week.
Absolutely.
Sun Pie Barnes and Friends in April. Motel Radio, they're kind of making a resurgence. They're playing also, and Mackie Corner's playing. Whisper Party, People Museum. So
awesome.
Pretty solid, pretty deep lineup this year.
Awesome. Well, do you have any music background for you?
I have zero.
Zero.
I'm a podcast listener, actually.
Right, yeah.
So
awesome. Well, good. Well, maybe we'll have one more listener today.
Yeah, no, it's and it was funny because we were kind of we work with White Oak Production to help us with the lineup and just the overall fest. And so they kind of sent us like a list of 30 to 40 bands targets, and I've probably heard of probably 25 to 30 of the 40 they presented. But I'm listening to them like, okay, this is I'm kind of discovering new talent.
Well, you definitely must enjoy listening to music.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Being a part of it, you know?
No, I do. I love it.
Yeah, no, you definitely, because you've named a lot of bands, and so you're paying attention to everything. It's not like you're just sitting up in the finance chair.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no. No, I listen to some music when I work sometimes, but more class or like some soundtracks, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the Social Network is my favorite soundtrack to listen to. Yeah, have you ever listened to it?
I'm gonna have to try because I love the movie.
So it's really, you know, there's not a lot of words, if any. It's all, you know, background noise. So like, I put it on if I need to like listen or pay attention to something, but I want something on the background. Like, it's perfect for
That's
it.
awesome. I do Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
The three, like I have like a 200 song playlist. It's all their soundtracks. Just throw it together.
Just throw it together.
If I need to work and grind through a contract for a few hours, I just put that on.
Try the Social Network because you know it's Trent Reznor, which was his like real first time doing a big film score.
Okay.
And it's totally different than anything you hear from Trent Reznor or that you normally hear in a film score.
Yeah.
So it's just weirdly, eerily awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to add it to my playlist.
Yeah, you definitely have to try it out. What's your favorite part of organizing Wednesday at the Square?
I kind of like how it's the operational aspect and putting a bunch of puzzles together. In my day job, I'm kind of like a project manager, like in-house attorney, managing people, but it's all at a desk.
Right.
I've had kind of some family background through operations stuff, so it's nice to actually see things like putting puzzle pieces together, but like seeing it and being like getting down and dirty with it. And then it's been great just to see. I'm ready for it to start because I'm ready once kind of all the work leading up to its culmination. And
Absolutely.
So that March 19th is our first weekend. I'm just so excited because if things go wrong, they just go wrong.
They go wrong. Yeah, you're playing operations at that point.
You're playing emergency mode, and it is what it is.
Yep, 100%.
So it's been nice to kind of see all that planning finally come together.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I've done a lot of events over the years, and there's always the great moments of it, and then there's always the headaches of it. And so, like for me, like my most difficult learning experience was rain insurance for an outdoor event. Have you had any experiences with do that, or do you guys even buy rain insurance?
That's a TBD question. I think in years past we have, and I don't think we do as much anymore. It's more of a bottom line figure because contracts they're not cheap.
No, it was one of the most expensive things that I spent money on. This was 2005, 2006. I was doing large scale car shows, but we'd have multiple day like race events, all kinds of stuff, and then the last day is like the big car show. But I always had to buy rain insurance for it, and they sell it to you by the quarter inch, and I want to say I bought a half inch, and I spent like $18,000 you're talking about just for one day, and it was like a $150,000 policy, and this was like 20 years ago, so I can't imagine what it costs now, but I didn't realize there's certain things and specifics that you have to make sure that are on that. Like I didn't realize that you could tell them what rain meter to use. And so instead they used the rain meter at the airport, which was 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Screwed me completely.
Well, no,
it didn't rain that much.
Same thing here.
Yeah. So, and then on top of that, I hired a company from out of state because I was in Florida, and I hired a company from New York because they had the best bid, but didn't realize that if I had an issue, I got to sue in federal court because cross state lines. So $150,000 policy is not worth suing in federal court. So I got screwed because it didn't rain as much in that meter, and moving forward, you realize, I can request to have a rain meter on site. Oh, I didn't know that. There was just a lot of little intricacies, and then that was really the first time I got screwed out of something like that.
I think we are not getting that. I don't think. No, but again, that's different because it's 8 different weeks.
Right.
And so how do you judge? You're going to pay a policy for each week?
Each week, right, each day, or 8 days, individually,
And typically we have one, so we have like May 14th is a rain date. So we do have a one date reserved. So knock on wood, we only have hopefully no rain, but can't control it.
No, you can't control it.
Can't worry about it, even though I do. So I think we expect to have at least one rain out date.
Yeah, I got you.
But it factors into like kind of the order of your lineup too, because if you have your most expensive headliner, you might want to book them early, have them on the schedule early, because that way, if that date doesn't rain out, all right, we're good. That one's done.
Right.
Or if it rains out early, you have them reserved for your next
one, right?
date. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, there's definitely ways to play it. I just didn't know because I know for me that was my big. That was my big. Oh my God! Because I remember it rained. We expected like 20,000 people to show up. We had like 9,600 people show up, and it rained all day. So my partner and I, we're jumping up and down. We got rain insurance. We're good, And then we get in the car about an hour after the show, and we're on the phone. We're like, yeah. Oh. So it was definitely events are a movable animal. It does this all day long or all weeks long, months long beforehand, and that one day is just an explosion of things.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I've asked a lot of people for references, like, hey, how do you do these contracts, or what's the price do you see on these kind of things? But my eyes been open because we have 8 weeks. We're not just a French Quarter Fest or Jazz Fest where, hey, you're getting beer vendor, send it up once, that's it.
Right.
And you keep everything on site for 2 weeks. We load everything every Wednesday, and have to take everything down every Wednesday night.
Right.
So if you go Thursday at 10 a.m. to Lafayette Square,
it
downtown,
can't look like Wednesday at Square.
It's like a normal, nothing ever happens. So it is pretty crazy.
How many people do you have doing that type of logistics for you?
I refer to White Oak on that. No, because they have a team. We have we hire like a rental team, rental team, and it's not many. It's I think between 10 and 20.
Wow.
YLC only has 2 staff members, and we have 2 or 3 co-chairs this year.
I got you.
So it's not a lot.
No, well, it's just so we do Hogs for a Cause every year, and so the setup and the breakdowns are always the craziest parts. So I can't imagine doing that 8 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's but it's one of those things that has to get done. It's like I think I will appreciate it more this year, being very heavily involved. I always think about it, but it's insane.
Well, it's a great family event, right? I mean,
so you have a mixture of everybody who works downtown. We want to funnel everybody from downtown to come enjoy it, get some drinks, get some food.
Right.
But yeah, we have families coming too. Like I have a lot of friends that have little kids now, but they come and you can bring chairs, you can bring blankets.
Right.
You can bring pet dogs on a leash. And there's food, we have like 16 food vendors. There's all kinds of food and desserts too.
And there's the food vendors there the same ones every.
So, same. So basically, we have a huge application process, and it's hard to narrow them down, but we kind of try to pick a diverse menu of things. So we have 16 vendors that are there every week.
Yeah, because that's crazy. I would think that picking a vendor is very important because you're not relying on them for 1-2 days. You're relying on them for 8 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a tough process because we have our artist village too, and we have 16 spots for those vendors, and so we had 40 applicants for 16 people, and this recently came up, and you have to balance of we focus on locally made local vendors as much as possible, which is only almost everybody's local, but then it's balancing who's come before in years past, but it's just try to get more people involved as much as possible. Sometimes your hands are tied too with space and permitting constraints.
Absolutely.
It's hard.
If you had to pick your favorite food from the vendors.
Ooh, K Pasta Nola. Was my favorite last year. They did like a homemade pasta and like a grilled shrimp pasta.
It was good,
delicious. But we have everything. We have pizza. We have paella. We'll have a few burger places on pizza. Some po' boys, some barbecue. I'm a big guy. I want the food. So I'm there for 8 weeks. So I want I will be able to get a different meal each week, and dessert too. So
well, there you go.
Pretty excited.
Pretty excited about it.
I'll be on the food hall side the entire thing. If you need to find me when you're there.
Well, what made you start helping out on the nonprofit side? Because you're really helping create a space for the community to come together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm born and raised here. And then I wasn't creating a family or anything, and other friends were, and so I was like, you know what? Let me how do I fill my time with more things? I have my good friends here, but I was always down to meet more people and just get involved. And so I knew YLC was a pretty well-known business and political kind of, or we're nonpartisan, but like a lot of politicians or people came through YLC as well, and so I just kind of knew about them. And then like the leadership development series that I just joined that and kind of took it from there. And then you kind of the progression is a YLC member, then become a project leader, and then become a board member.
Right.
And so I'm on a few different boards, and so I eventually just joined the YLC board. I'm more of a sweat equity guy than asking for a lot of money.
Right.
And so like last year when they asked me if I had any interest in chairing Wednesday at the Square, I called them crazy, but I think they caught me in a soft one night. Just caught me in a soft spot, and so yeah, somebody needed to do it, and like I like just to I like to talk the talk and walk the walk as well. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. No, hey, listen, it's great. I mean, I enjoy giving back too. I mean, I love this city. It gave me so much, yeah, and I don't feel like I've realized how much it gave me until I moved away for a little bit. I was in. I mean, I moved to Florida when I was 16 with my mom, but I was always back and forth with family. But I was out in LA 9 years, like really like out there, and it changed what I learned about myself. What New Orleans gave me, which was just the ability to talk to anybody that walked in the room, the comfortability and confidence to be able to walk in those rooms, and then I feel like the ability to attach to people, and from any different background, it really gives you that
100%.
kinda,
And like I'm born and raised here. I have friends here, but I think it is hard also. We don't have a lot of young professional talent in the city, and it's hard to maintain and keep them here too.
Right.
And so part of like YLC I think has been great is like you meet friends and become friends with people who are either from here, also some are not from here. And so we have
Right.
like you make more friends, and we're trying to make the city attractive to like besides your job to like make it to where people want to stay here.
Yeah, no, it's the same for musicians. I mean, we have the same issue. They have very talented musicians here, but the people who do the music business part of it, they end up leaving,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
insane.
And so the talent's great, but you can't get out of the city or make money if you don't treat your business properly. And then there's no one here to actually teach it as well. Like there's schools and things, but you don't learn the ins and outs of your daily business grind in any business, if you ask me, through school. You learn it through learning.
100%.
So one of the things that I wanted to do is I was coming back and forth from LA, and I realized that we had a lack of business industry talent or industry people teaching. So I was like, and LA was not the place for me personally. It was a great thing for me career-wise. I needed to do it, but I wanted to come home, build a family, get closer, with my dad and stuff, and I'd been gone too long. So I was like, I'm going to come home, build something that they don't have here, which is an industry standard type of all-in-one inclusive building, and see if I can create a new culture of how we create it, and how we treat our music and our creativity, because we should be getting paid for it.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm a lawyer now, so I guess I'm a hypocrite. But we have so much in medical, legal, and tourism and creativity. There's so much of a gap, and like creativity sector needs more business acumen, it's more business, gap bridging, and we just don't have that.
No, because nowadays, especially, you have to be your own marketing campaign.
Yeah.
You have to be your own business manager. Then you have to do the creative side, and then you have to understand how to release and promote all of that. And I just, unless someone is truly showing you how to do it, you're just guessing.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So you're shooting at fish, and you're not shooting in a barrel. You're shooting at fish in a big, wide pond. And I just I really hope that we can create a new culture down here, because even when I talk to people from Nashville, and I talk to people who do sessions in other cities, and obviously I knew LA was this way, but Nashville studio musicians handle their business way different than we do. Even showing up to a studio session, I heard, was part of the things that they don't come down here for, because they'll get people just don't show up. Like, nobody's taking it seriously. And it's a lack of drive, because there is no out, there is no door to look at.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, it's a shot in the dark. So I feel like if you give people the light and you show them where the tunnel
100%.
is, they'll start moving toward it.
No, that makes complete sense. Yeah, you kind of show them, hey, the goal is there. Might be far, might be a long road.
Right. But as long as there's a light, people are
Yeah,
moving toward it. You know,
definitely.
we love the music, the creativity. We love it so much that it's just something that helps us move forward. You know, it gives you a little drive. It's needed. But so let's see. I think we've run out of questions. What would you say your goal is for the future? Is there anything you want to change that you're looking?
So I mean, yeah, it's interesting because so YLC, you know, you have between you're on the board for between 2 to 6 years roughly. So you're always constantly evolving, and so my goal is just to be leave it in a better place than you got there, and that's
Right.
not to put anybody or anything down how you received it.
Right. There's always a way to improve it.
For YLC and for Wednesday Square, both.
Right.
It's more of like, okay, like maybe look at things more of in a long-term lens, instead of like a patchwork kind of scenario.
Right.
This is career. This is work. This is everything. I feel like.
Right.
You know, I hate the question of where do you see yourself in 5 years.
Yeah.
But I hate it. But
because 5 years should be a year now at this point.
5 months.
Yeah, the way life
months.
moves, it needs to be faster.
But I think we could always. I always try to strive to like get the base, like the foundation there. Then that, you know, to kind of get a better foundation.
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of my YLC kind of goals a little bit. So for example, I'm a big pickleball player. We kind of needed to raise some money last year, so we decided to do pickleball tournaments. So
right.
I took that on. I needed more help, and I didn't ask for the help. So then, but I'm not gonna be involved with YLC forever. But hey, it'd be great to have this tournament. I think this could be an easy lift going forward. So
right.
now the goal is, okay, let's get a better framework to where next year I can let somebody else just take it and run with it, or a committee to run with it.
Right.
My goal is more just work on leaving things better than when you had it.
If you create more avenues to funnel money to it, then you're going to leave it better than you found it. So that's awesome. Well, why don't you tell everybody your socials and where they can find you?
Yeah. So I mean, I always say Google Wednesday at the Square, YLC Watts. So YLCWatts.com is where you see everything. We have a YLC Instagram account, and then I think YLC NOLA, but YLC Watts is more for the Wednesday at the Square specific. We have on our website all the vendors who are going to be there, so you can kind of plan your meals ahead of time.
Awesome.
We have the concert series.
And what's the first date?
So it's March 19th is the first date. So it's every Wednesday, 5 to 8 p.m. starting March 19th for 8 weeks.
Awesome.
Maybe 9th. Hopefully it doesn't rain. But yeah, so usually the first week is a little slower because it's hard to get the word out there as much.
Right.
But after that, we kind of have like 5,000 people show up every week. It is really a mixture. We try to get as many people from downtown come in, funnel them from after work, but some people are there like setting up at 4 o'clock with their chairs.
That's awesome.
And you'd be surprised how people from all over the city come in for it. And so trying to make it, to where it's a night, but you have a fun night, eat, drink, but then you're still home, by 8:30. And so you're still ready to go refresh for Thursday morning to get working.
Somewhat sober Thursday morning.
We have food, we have alcohol. Abita is our main sponsor. So
right.
We have all the Abita beers there. Gold Ring Foundation, we have Sazerac liquor, we have other liquors, and so we also have water, soft drinks, everything else too for everybody else. And so
all right, well, great. Well, no, it's a good time, and I'm thankful for you guys doing it, and hopefully maybe we can get involved when you
absolutely
and do some stuff with you guys.
Yeah, we always are always looking for great partners. We have YLC partnerships through corporations, but also we have Wednesday at the Square partnerships, and even my private job. It's like partnerships are the key to, I think, a successful everything.
Absolutely, the circle chart. Always really the circle chart.
If you can repeat business and just rubber stamp things, it makes you grow because you have the foundation already.
Yep.
And just expand.
And you go from there.
Yeah.
Awesome, bud. Well, thanks for coming today.
No, absolutely.
And, thank you guys for having us. And if you guys would like, follow and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks so much.